They want to move on.
Oh my God, it's right there. See it.
And now so do I. I do want to play, and my intention will be to play for the Jets.
We are continuing coverage tonight after Packers quarterback Aaron Rodgers announces his next steps in the NFL. We'll break down what's next for the former MVP.
Plus, we take you to Green Bay to see how fans are reacting to the news and to highlight the legacy Rodgers is leaving behind.
And Republican lawmakers are rolling out a new bill on abortion exceptions, why it will likely be vetoed by the governor. You're watching News 3 Now at 5. It is a decision we've all been waiting for, but probably not the one that most Packer fans wanted to hear.
Today, Aaron Rodgers said he wants to keep playing football, but he intends to play for the New York Jets. An official deal has not yet been reached, but Rodgers said he's not the one holding up a trade between the Packers and the Jets. Rodgers discussed his future plans and much more on the Pat McAfee Show this afternoon. Sports director Zach Hanley is here now with more on today's announcement.
Yeah, that word intend is probably the most important word in it all because Rodgers is currently under contract with the Packers, and the only way he can play for the Jets, like he says he intends to, is if Green Bay agrees to trade him to New York and the two agree on terms. Rodgers said on the Pat McAfee Show that walking off the field against the Lions in January felt like the last time he'd be the Packers starting quarterback, and the realization that after 18 years in his time in Titletown appears to be over is pretty emotional.
There's a lot of sadness for sure. There was definitely, a day of mourning, I think, of just all that time, those memories, the love I have for that place. But that place is always going to be really, really special to me. I love you, Green Bay. Thank you. And I'm as sad as some of you are, but, we'll meet again.
And he won't be the first Packers quarterback to play for the Jets. 15 years ago, Brett Favre went from Green Bay to the Big Apple, where he led the Jets to a 9-7 record, throwing for 3,472 yards, 22 touchdowns, and 22 interceptions. It's amazing how history seems to repeat itself.
Here we are again. Now, there's some things that have to happen. They got to redo the deal. We got to figure out what the Packers get in return. They get something, but in the meantime, it's Jordan Love's team.
It's time for Jordan Love, I guess. 3 years of learning behind Rodgers. And, you don't move up to draft a quarterback if you're not going to play him. So maybe it's time. Maybe it's time for Love.
Yeah, we got, what, 6 weeks or so until
6 weeks
the draft.
until the draft, yeah.
So
we'll find out more information
then. It'll be a crazy offseason, Zach. Thank you.
Thanks, Zach. Our Aaron Rodgers coverage continues on our website at channel3000.com. Just look for a special section on our homepage. You'll find a timeline highlighting Rodgers' journey in Green Bay, and you can take our poll sharing how you feel about the Rodgers decision. Are you happy? Are you sad? Or are you just glad it's almost over? So far, about 62% are just glad it's over.
So all that love, hate, or something in between for Rodgers is the story for Wisconsin today.
But for one person, it's something a little more. Only on News 3 Now, our Andrew Banstra traveled to Green Bay today to talk to an old friend of Rodgers that got a shout out today. Andrew?
Yeah, that's exactly right. Now, Rodgers was full of love for Green Bay today on the Pat McAfee Show, especially for one individual that we ran into today in Green Bay. His name is Rob Fairman, and he's been working as the frame worker a couple blocks down the street from Lambeau Field for Aaron Rodgers for about 15 years.
It's odd for me to think of this town without him. And I think he's like intermixed with the way that people are around here and how they root for this team. And for him not to be here is going to be really strange.
Now, Rob gives us a little bit of perspective on all the drama that has broken down, not only for Packers fans, but also for everybody in the town of Green Bay. They worked together again for about 15 years. They met in Rodgers' rookie season. At 6 o'clock, we'll tell you why that number 12 is so special, not just to Rob, but everybody in Green Bay. And you'll hear from a couple other families here in Green Bay. For now at Lambeau Field, Andrew Banstra for News 3 Now.
Andrew, thank you. Despite his urge to move on, Aaron Rodgers leaves behind an impressive legacy in Green Bay.
No doubt about it. Sports director Zach Hanley takes a look back at his career and his time with the Green and Gold.
The 24th selection in the 2005 NFL Draft, the Green Bay Packers select Aaron Rodgers, quarterback from California.
There you go. Good for him.
Since his draft day in 2005, Aaron Rodgers was motivated to prove people wrong.
Hey, you know what? Good for the Packers and good for him.
Yeah. How disappointed are you that you will not be a 49er?
Not as disappointed as the 49ers will be that they didn't draft me.
After 3 seasons sitting behind Brett Favre, Rodgers got his chance when he was handed the keys to the franchise in 2008. And he passed his first test as Green Bay's starting quarterback with a 24-19 win over Minnesota. 2 seasons later, number 12 took the Packers on a road trip in the playoffs, making stops in Philadelphia to eliminate the Eagles, Atlanta to fly by the Falcons, and Chicago to beat the Bears.
The Green Bay Packers beat their rival, and off to the Super Bowl they go.
His final stop, Super Bowl 45 in Dallas, where Rodgers led the Packers over the Steelers.
The final snap of Super Bowl 45. The Green Bay Packers have won the Super Bowl
and brought the Lombardi Trophy back to Titletown. But he was never able to make it back. Rodgers came up short in 4 straight NFC Championship games, most notably in 2014 when the Packers blew a 12-point lead late in the 4th quarter against the Seahawks and lost in overtime.
Rodgers in trouble.
He did have a knack for the Hail Mary.
He turned 32 yesterday. Does he have a vintage moment in him?
And owning the Bears.
Rodgers is inside the pylon. Touchdown Packers.
right on cue, Joe.
And no matter his team's record, he never lost confidence.
I feel like we can run the table. I really do.
In his 18 seasons in Green Bay, Rodgers was an 8-time Pro Bowler, a 4-time NFL MVP,
Aaron Rodgers,
and a Super Bowl champ. He leaves as the franchise's all-time leader in touchdown passes with 475. And his legacy will live on in Lambeau as one of the greatest to ever play in the NFL.
Wow, it's bittersweet to go down memory lane like that,
is.
isn't it? Let's get a check on our forecast now. Gary Canolti is on the weather patio. Gary?
He's happy to see Rodgers go.
I think all Bears fans are, but I think I'm even happier to see the mild weather in here, at least for a little while. Tomorrow we're looking at rain, but take a look at visible cloud track. The clouds have started to thicken up, but we've had a little hazy sunshine through them. The thicker clouds are farther out to the west, but most of the precipitation is in the northern part of the Midwest, and that in the form of snow up in northern Minnesota and parts of North Dakota. But southern Wisconsin right now, precipitation free. Current temperatures, much nicer than yesterday. 46 right now, Madison. Janesville's at 50. Temperatures mainly in the mid-40s to around 50 through much of southern Wisconsin. A little colder closer to Lake Michigan in east central Wisconsin. But here in Dane County, 47 right now in Edgerton, 46 in Cross Plains, and 46 the current temperature in Waunakee. Look for skies to be mostly cloudy this evening, but not looking for any rain or snow. Temperatures will be mild as they drop off into the lower 40s by 10 p.m. Later on, we'll take a look at a forecast that includes some rain for tomorrow and some snow for Friday. Is there any accumulation? I'll tell you in a few minutes.
All right, thank you, Gary. Madison's mayoral campaign found its way into the classroom today with 3 weeks to go until Election Day and in need of every opportunity to self-promote.
Tahlil Mohideen joined Madison Mayor Satya Rhodes Conway and her opponent, Gloria Reyes, for a debate hosted by students this afternoon. She joins us now with details. Tahlil?
Today's mayoral debate took place in West High School's auditorium. The organizers, moderators, and PR team, all students. It was put on by the school's Sifting and Winnowing Club, a student-led group dedicated to increasing civic engagement among young people. Group member Zoe Zhang says before joining the club, she knew little about government, but now sees how important it is for people to get active.
Lately, there's been a lot of things happening that haven't really been super great for everyone, and I think because we're the next generation, we do have the biggest voice and participation and have the most possibility to make change.
The mayoral debate at West High had been in the works since December. A student moderator asked candidates questions about anything from housing, school resource officers, transportation, and mental health. Students say they also hope to host another debate with Supreme Court candidates. Since starting the club at the beginning of the school year, they also held a school board candidate debate and a public service forum.
Tahlil, thank you. And later this month, Rhodes Conway will face challenger Reyes again. That'll be Monday, March 27th in a debate 1 week before the April 4th election. News 3 Now and the Cap Times are co-sponsoring the debate. I'll moderate along with investigative reporter Naomi Coles, who will serve as a panelist. And you can watch a live stream of the debate on our website at 7 p.m. And again, right here on Channel 3 on March 28th at 4 p.m. You can submit a question for consideration right now. Just go to channel3000.com.
And a reminder, the two Supreme Court candidates,
Pan right.
Sorry about that, will meet in their only debate of this campaign next Tuesday, sponsored by News 3 Now, the State Bar, and WISC Politics. The debate will air at 4 p.m. and it will preempt live at 4.
Well, the full NCAA basketball tournament gets underway tomorrow, and tonight many of you are probably feverishly filling out your office brackets. That is no exception for those of us here at News 3 Now. Our anchor teams for the morning show, live at 4, and News 3 Now at 10 are all shooting for bragging rights to claim they know which teams will make it to the Final Four. That team right there is going to win.
Well, I think you're right.
We'll see what happens. It's the bracket challenge tonight at 10, and then join our bracket battle. You can join us, compete against us at channel3000.com. See how well you do against all of us self-proclaimed experts.
No, not me.
Should be fun.
Yeah, it will be fun.
Gary's better at predicting things. He has his forecast next at 5.
Plus, a closer look at a new abortion exception bill Republican legislators are proposing when we return. And later, we'll share more details and reaction after Aaron Rodgers announces his future plans today. Our coverage continues tonight at 6.
On Wall Street, Tuesday gains, well, they're gone for the Dow as it stumbles from 281 points down. The NASDAQ adds a half dozen. S&P 500 loses about 27. We'll be right back.
Get the absolute best pricing now during Ashley's anniversary event. We've marked down everything to match online prices, all backed by our 30-day price guarantee. Get your choice of 6 months interest-free financing or low monthly payment options and free local delivery, only at Ashley.
Fry Construction invites you to celebrate spring with our big spring thaw sale. We're talking about savings of 23%. Many of your neighbors already know how we strive to meet and exceed expectations with each and every project. That's why they voted us Best Roofer 3 years in a row. Experience the best of Madison for yourself with Fry Construction. Get on board with our spring thaw sale. Save 23% off gutters or insulation with any full roofing project. Schedule your consultation today at fryconstruction.com.
This is how legends are made. Chevy Silverado and new Silverado HD. Choose your own path with the #1 best-selling retail full-size pickup and see where it takes you. Find new roads. It's Chevy truck season. Get 0% financing plus make no monthly payments for 90 days on all Silverado 1500 pickups. And current Chevy owners get $2,500 cash allowance on this Silverado with a turbo high-output engine. Chevrolet, the #1 selling brand in Wisconsin.
I've never been afraid to express myself, to create a life I love. I worried cancer could steal my spark and become my identity. But UW Health designed custom treatments just for me. And now, my legacy, it's still in the making. Because standard, well, that's never been my style. UW Health, remarkable.
Two candidates for Supreme Court, two very different beliefs. Judge Janet Protasewicz, she believes women should have the freedom to make their own decisions on abortion. Extremist Dan Kelly, he supports the 1849 law that takes away women's rights and criminalizes abortion, even in cases of rape, incest, and health of the mother. So who represents you? An extremist or a common sense judge? Vote by April 4th.
Celebrate Ashley's anniversary with our lowest mattress prices of the season. Get your best night's sleep on Purple, Tempur-Pedic, Serta, and more. All backed by our 30-day price guarantee and special financing options that fit your budget at Wisconsin's #1 mattress retailer, Ashley.
Republicans introducing a surprise twist to amending Wisconsin's abortion ban. Why Democrats say it's politically motivated and dead in the water.
And only on News 3 Now, Andrew Banstra tracks down the Green Bay frame maker that Aaron Rodgers shouted out today as one of the people who missed the most. We'll hear from him tonight at 6.
A high-stakes election for a seat on the Wisconsin Supreme Court. News 3 Now presents a debate between candidates Daniel Kelly and Janet Protasewicz in a Campaign 2023 special. Tuesday at 4 p.m. only on News 3 Now. You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
Welcome back. A big shakeup today at the state capitol as Republicans put forward a plan to allow for some exceptions to the state's abortion ban. Political reporter Will Keneally is at the Capitol and has more.
Susan, right now abortions are only allowed in Wisconsin to save the life of the mother, but this new Republican proposal would add some exceptions for rape or incest victims during the first trimester. Republicans have put this forward as a compromise to pare down the near-total abortion ban, but Democrats are largely not on board. They're pushing for a full repeal of the state's abortion ban, and the governor says today that he will not sign this Republican bill. And they're saying that this Republican proposal is disingenuous.
It will never. This is not a real attempt. I understand that there's like an aspect of theater and politics, and that's what we're seeing here from Republicans.
Madison Senator Kelda Royce says this is to help conservatives win the state Supreme Court race that's up in April. Make a few concessions on abortion, and you may take some wind out of the sails on the issue. But this proposal is likely dead on arrival. Not all Republicans are on board with adding exceptions for rape or incest victims to state law. We'll hear more from them coming up tonight at 6. Reporting from the Capitol, Will Keneally, News 3 Now.
Well, thank you. Republicans also reintroduced a bill this morning that would let pharmacists prescribe birth control. That bill received bipartisan support the last time it was introduced.
Meanwhile, the future of abortion pills is in question down in Texas, where a federal judge is considering a case that could stop the nationwide use of the drug, even in states where it remains legal. The lawsuit filed by anti-abortion groups is asking for an immediate order that would revoke or suspend mifepristone's FDA approval. More than 20 years ago, the FDA gave the drug the green light in combination with a second pill as a safe and effective method to induce a medicated abortion. Government lawyers contend taking the drug off the market would unravel reproductive care for women in the U.S. and undermine federal oversight of prescription drugs.
This case could have profound implications for access to abortion throughout the entire United States. Targeting medication abortion is a way of really cracking down and enforcing these draconian abortion restrictions that have popped up and are being enforced in so many states in the wake of the Supreme Court overruling Roe.
Justice Department attorneys would likely appeal any decision against mifepristone and seek an emergency stay to prevent the ruling from taking effect.
Today marks the final day to register to vote online in Wisconsin or by mail for the spring election. In-person registration will still be available at absentee voting locations around Madison until the Friday before the April 4th election. Voters can also register to vote in person at their polling place on Election Day under Wisconsin law. Anyone looking to see a sample of what their ballot will look like can do so online at myvote.wi.gov. Let's get a check at the weather now. Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti has some changes coming.
Well, today was a change compared to yesterday. Yesterday was cold and sunny. Today was cloudy, but it also was mild thanks to mild southerly winds. 3 things you need to know. Tomorrow will be mild as well, but we'll also see some rain. In fact, pretty widespread rain expected through the afternoon. High temperatures, though, reaching the middle 40s. Then a cold front comes through tomorrow night. The rain mixes with and changes to snow during the nighttime. There could be some minor snow accumulations, mainly north of Madison and Dane County. And then Friday will be very windy and cold with some flurries that could linger into Saturday. St. Patrick's Day, boy, high temperatures only topping out around the freezing mark. Northern part of the Midwest, still a fair amount of snow on the ground. Notice how it's starting to erode away here in the southern portion of the state and the areas immediately to our south. So when the winds are out of the south, they're not coming over snow cover, and that's why we can warm up pretty quickly. But this area will be added to in terms of snow. Doppler track right now, just some light snow moving through parts of Minnesota that changes to rain over parts of northern Wisconsin. But eventually, a more significant winter storm is possible from tomorrow night into Friday. Friday and maybe even into Saturday over parts of upper Michigan. Winter storm warnings in effect for northwestern Wisconsin and parts of northeastern Minnesota. Winter storm watches continue up toward Rhinelander and the western and northern portions of the UP of Michigan. Future track snowfall from the European computer model has come down a bit, but still looks for the possibility for 6 to 12 inches of snow through the UP of Michigan and far northern Wisconsin, close to Lake Superior. Notice the southern part of the state. Probably less than an inch, and most of that I think will be areas north of Dane County. There'll be a little window where we could see the possibility for some snow accumulations. But right now, temperatures are very mild to our south and west. We're at 46, but Des Moines at 58, St. Louis at 57. Of course, no snow on the ground here, so those temperatures can warm up pretty quickly. And with that March sun higher in the sky, 71 in Hill City, Kansas, and 73 in North Platte, Nebraska. But weather track shows plenty of clouds streaming in. The jet stream starting to come together as we see a strong area of low pressure in the southwestern part of the country that will basically take a track right through southern Wisconsin and bring the potential for rain tomorrow and then maybe some snow later tomorrow night. In fact, Metro Futurecast for tomorrow calls for a high of 46. It'll be cloudy and mild with occasional rain. But as we look at future track beginning at midnight tonight, maybe a couple of showers overnight, the better chances for rain start to arrive during the day on tomorrow. That's noon. You can see the rain coming in from the southwest. Temperatures middle 40s, so mild enough for rain here. But notice the change from rain to snow as the winds shift around to the northwest. So that colder air starts to move in. Notice by midnight, temperatures still in the upper 30s here, middle 30s to the north and west of Madison. Still, there could be snow. The problem is it's just not going to accumulate at that point. Temperatures have to drop a little bit. By the time they get to the point to where the snow could accumulate, the bulk of the snow shifts to the north and east, and we're just left with flurries, but a lot of wind. Temperatures only around 30 for much of the day as we head into the day on Friday. In fact, as far as rainfall amounts are concerned, maybe a half inch or so from Madison to the north and west. Snowfall amounts, like I showed before, generally less than an inch over southern Wisconsin. Our 7 to 10 day forecast, cold for Friday, even colder for Saturday. High temperatures only in the mid-20s and strong northwesterly winds, but just as quickly, just in time for the start of spring, temperatures warm up, and we're in the 50s for much of the second half of next week with mainly rain showers at that point. As we check out first warn traffic, here's the live view of the Beltline at Stoughton Road. You can see the traffic camera shaking around a little bit in the wind, but traffic is pretty light right now. Not seeing any problems on the Beltline, I-39, 90, 94 on the east side of Madison. Just a bit of a slowdown northbound on US 12 heading out of Middleton. Otherwise, a 15-minute trip either way on the Beltline between University Avenue and the interstate. Heading out of Madison, 25 minutes from the Beltline to Janesville on I-39, 90. A quick 15 minutes from Middleton to Sauk City on US 12. Downtown to Sun Prairie, East Washington Avenue and US 151 takes you 20 minutes. That's your News 3 Now First Warn traffic.
Gary, thank you. The Federal Aviation Administration hosted a safety summit today after a recent string of close calls on airport runways. The latest was just last Tuesday at Washington's Reagan National Airport when a jet taxied across a runway just as another plane was set to take off. It is the 6th close call this year.
These recent incidents must serve as a wake-up call for every single one of us before something more catastrophic occurs.
During the summit, there were calls for Congress to increase the FAA's budget for staffing and technology upgrades. There was also an appeal to give the workforce more instruction as it ramps back up following the pandemic. Coming up, how a program is opening new doors for people of color in the gaming industry. The story next at 5.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
It's time to march into deer season. Get your John Deere 1025R with a 120R loader for just $195 per month. Get a John Deere now and
Power up at Sloan's.
Think Sloan's first.
Menards is here to help keep your home protected. For more than 150 years, Myers has been the brand to trust for water disposal pumps. This Myers half-horsepower sump pump is designed to prevent water damage, which can cost thousands of dollars in repairs. It pumps up to 4,500 gallons of water per hour. Pick it up for only $144.97 after rebate. Hurry into a store near you and get 11% off all Myers products now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
This is how legends are made. Chevy Silverado and new Silverado HD. Choose your own path with the #1 best-selling retail full-size pickup and see where it takes you. Find new roads. It's Chevy truck season. Get 0% financing plus make no monthly payments for 90 days on all Silverado 1500 pickups. And current Chevy owners get $2,500 cash allowance on this Silverado with a turbo high output engine. Chevrolet, the #1 selling brand in Wisconsin.
Oh, the weather. What's the chance of rain tomorrow?
Ooh, 80%. I make it rain. I make it rain.
Speaking of making it rain, at Ho Chunk Gaming Madison, we have an average 95% payout, which leads you to more chances of playing longer and more chances to win big. Play longer, win more, chances are you're gonna like it.
Ho Chunk Gaming Madison.
Sexual assault of an 11-year-old. No prison time. He raped a military veteran, left her for dead. Just 2.5 years. Raped a mentally disabled 14-year-old. Probation. How the heck did this happen? Janet Protasewicz.
If you could go back in time, would you have ruled any differently? I would say no.
Really? No time in prison?
I would say no.
Protasewicz set violent criminals free. Again and again. Tell Judge Protasewicz, stop protecting criminals.
There's nothing better than a great night's sleep on a new Tempur-Pedic from Steinhafels. Tempur-Pedic mattresses are designed to make aches and pains a thing of the past by relieving pressure points and supporting the body as no other mattress can. Right now, Queen Tempur-Pedics start at just $40 per month with Steinhafels 72-month financing. Plus, you get $300 in Steinhafels cash. Isn't it time you got a great night's sleep? Relax. It's Steinhafels.
It's time to march into deer season. Get your John Deere Gator utility vehicle with 0% for 36 months and no money down. Get a John Deere Gator now. And
power up at Sloan's.
Think Sloan's first.
Over the past few decades, video games have expanded, as you know, into a booming entertainment industry.
Yeah, Michael George shows us how a new program is helping young people of color take their first step into the world of game design.
Lori Lamont grew up playing video games, but it wasn't until recently that her hobby became something more.
I never thought game design would be a possible career path for me.
She heard about a new program offered at City College of New York called Gaming Pathways.
That instinct is really good.
Encouraging people of color to work in the multi-billion-dollar gaming industry. The International Game Developers Association survey found less than 1/3 of gaming workers are people of color, and only 5% are black.
That kind of pushed me away from that pathway because I'm like, if someone like me is stepping in the door, then what does that leave for me? You know, like, would people even like welcome me with open arms?
We're going to do them one at a time.
More than 1,000 students will be taught programming, visual arts, and game design. The program got $2 million in funding from the City of New York to help grow the city's gaming industry.
So do you remember the structure of this?
Program director Nicholas Fortuno says diversity is vital.
When industries aren't diverse, especially industries in entertainment or storytelling, they end up telling stories to the same people, and that ignores whole markets of storytellers and whole kinds of stories.
More colleges across the country have established curriculums to help make gaming a career path. Lori is now on track to be a game artist, and she has advice for anyone thinking about working in video games.
It's gonna be hard, but it's okay. Other people have your back, and definitely be open-minded.
What was once kids' play, now...
Are you updating your own tasks?
Becoming a career. Michael George, CBS News, New York.
In terms of revenue, the video game industry is now larger than Hollywood and the music industry combined.
Wow. We'll get a final check of your first warn forecast when we come back.
Us. This isn't us. Is it? Uh-huh. Let's take a break from our devices for 5 days, 5 hours, or even just 5 minutes. And let's see what we find.
Hey, bud.
U.S. Cellular. Built for us.
At McGann Furniture and Flooring in Baraboo, we know that hardworking people want the most value for their money. At McGann's, we've already sorted out and selected the brands that we feel offer you the most bang for your buck. From young couples to senior citizens, we offer a huge selection at prices that will fit your budget. And remember, at McGann's, we don't raise prices only to lower them later for a sale. Discover the difference at McGann Furniture and Flooring, downtown Baraboo.
Family-owned Brothers Maine knows choosing appliances for a remodel or new build can be exciting and overwhelming. Our experienced staff has experienced it all as we've guided thousands of area families through appliance selection. Brothers Maine has a larger inventory and low-price deals that consistently beat competitors, including big box. You heard me, big box can't beat our prices. From sales to install, Brothers Maine does it all. Feel great about your purchases and feel like family at Brothers Maine.
Remember this, and the false selector scheme. In Wisconsin, extremist Dan Kelly was the right-wing lawyer behind the scenes of it all. The bipartisan January 6th commission revealed Kelly advised Trump operatives as special counsel to overturn the will of the people and overthrow the election results. Kelly even went on tour promoting the big lie. On April 4th, vote like democracy depends on it, because it does.
At Lawton Cates, your life counts is more than just a slogan. Because around here, we're all about comebacks. Whether it's helping you recover after a car accident or return to the job following an injury, it's us fighting the odds and the insurance company to make sure you get the compensation you and your family deserve. No one loves a great comeback story more than Lawton Cates, which motivates us to fight for our clients every day. Your life counts. Lawton Cates. Call us today.
Fjords has been crafting beautifully designed functional furniture since 1941. Every aspect of Fjords furniture has been carefully engineered to create a higher level of relaxation. Right now at the Century House, purchase any Fjords furniture and receive up to 20% off. All models, all sizes, all colors. Experience the unmatched relaxation you can only achieve in Fjords furniture. Relaxation made beautiful. Visit the Century House at 3420 University Avenue in Madison or online at centuryhouseinc.com.
The good news, US Cellular gives you $830 off any phone when you choose an unlimited evolved plan.
So nice.
So, friend who always has a broken phone can finally get a new one.
It's just a scratch.
It's broken.
No.
Oh. US Cellular, built for us.
There's a live view of the Platteville-Quimby radio sky cam. Lots of clouds out there, but it's a thin overcast right now. And temperatures are pretty mild. 46 Madison, 50 in Janesville, 51 in Boscobel. That's looking a lot better than yesterday. Some 30s closer to Lake Michigan, but we're not close to Lake Michigan. Dane County right now, 50 in Edgerton and 46 in Mount Horeb.
CBS Evening News is next. We're back in 30 minutes for News 3 Now at 6.